So currently now there's semen retention wars among the semen retainers, creators in the community, like your YouTube channels and whatnot. I personally, it's not war, to be honest. It's just that there's a contradiction going on because you have this big creator, you know, who influenced and inspired the other creators that are now popping up in the game, who's now coming with a different opinion, or rather I would say a more enlightened opinion, and that it is received by the newer creators as contradicting to what he quote unquote stands for, which is to retain your semen, right? I won't even go into there because that's its own topic. um I'm not having this channel to discuss about other people's businesses. The last video I posted, I talked about how I am done being a consumer and I am now ready to be a creator. Obviously, that was a thought impulse. I just had the thought that I'm sick and tired of just being a consumer, bro, and I want to be a creator, a conscious creator. That meant for me that, well, how it looked in my head was me literally quitting like cold turkey, watching content, like any type of content, like literally choosing a different stimuli for dopamine. So going for the books, I even downloaded so many PDF books. I even downloaded manga just so I can have a different dopamine system. But then because another thing, it was driven by the fear that I am not going to remain connected to the internet because of like me being poor, not having to afford, voucher for the fiber and these things and that. But then now I've obviously figured ways to maneuver that. So now I'm getting connected through someone else's account. So it's kind of like I won't even talk about it. But now because I'm still connected, I'm still receiving the internet connection, the bandwidth. So I'm able to still go to my phone and just look up content and just sit and just watch and just be entertained without doing anything, right? To get stimulated without just lifting a finger, basically. And that's what I'm doing still, even though I made that video like 3 4 days back, because that was a thought impulse. Just like anything, it starts as a thought impulse, and then we act upon it, and then it becomes a reality manifest, right? But it's just been there at the back of my mind because you know it just seems to me like that's just been the whole like nature of how I do things. I will set myself on doing something, but then I'll procrastinate and end up not doing it. And then at the same time, I'm aware that okay, I'm doing these things. They do give me some sort of temporary satisfaction. You get stimulated, you feel good without having doing anything. I mean, that's a cheat code, a literal cheat code. Like, if you had the option to feel good with not doing anything, and an option to feel the same level of goodness but having to put effort, you are obviously gonna choose the no effort route, right? And that's my default baseline. No effort, more stimulant, more stimulation. At the same time, I can see how I can go down uh, a road in my head where I start to just build negative thought impulses. Oh, I'm procrastinating again. Oh, I'm lazy. Oh, I'm so worthless, hopeless. Why don't I have motivation? Why don't I have willpower? I can see how I can just start to just fall into that rabbit hole where I'm just sinking deeper and deeper in that self-hate energy. But I'm holding myself up. I am keeping my awareness, I would say, at a neutral state. But then at the same time, I'm not doing anything about it. I'm still drinking high sugar drinks. I'm still eating more than once a day. I'm still just not doing anything towards my business, towards my physical health, towards nothing, right? But then at the same time, I'm not allowing the the results of those things diminish my self-concept internally. I'm not allowing those things to tell me, oh shit, I'm not worth it. Not that I'm saying I'm worth anything, but I'm not saying I'm not. I'm not saying I don't have confidence because I'm not doing what I want to do. I'm not saying I have guilt because I'm like 2 days back I was constantly relapsing. Yeah, I think I'm on day 3 right now. And then that's another thing, like I view like porn, like releasing, as like relative at this point. Like I hear people telling other people online like, yo, releasing is bad, shouldn't do it. It cooks your brain with the dopamine it releases, it rewires how you view things and this and that. But bro, that statement, as true as it could be for those persons, it is still rigid. It is still confirmed. It is still fear mongering because it is based on restriction, limitation, because it's saying, oh, if you do this, then this will happen indefinitely. Whereas in actual reality, like, this is the thing. Let me just sidetrack a little bit. We as human beings, right? We like to contradict ourselves a lot. We actually do. For example, we will say that there are no such things that are impossible, right? We will say that the sky is the limit. Okay, we will say that anything is possible as long as you believe. We will say that what your mind can conceive, it can achieve, right? But then we will also say, oh, you can't you can't eat an unhealthy diet and remain healthy. You can't not work out and still be healthy. You can't sit around all day and still feel good about yourself. Like, we still like to put limits and restrictions to things that we think are logical, but then at the same time we still like to fantasize and believe that we are beyond logic in terms of the things that we can achieve. Like, we can achieve our greatest dreams, our greatest desires, and everything, right? For example, like, I'm a person right now, I'm 22 years old. I turned 22 fully 6th of May this year. I live with my father in a shack. Those who have knowledge of what a shack is, they will know exactly. I live in South Africa, in Stellenbosch, which is a small town in the Western Cape. And I am a black, young, unemployed youth, right? And my father, obviously, it's just me and him. He works. He's been working at this job we call, it's a grocery store called Spar. He's been working there for plus 20 years. He's been working there before I was even born. basically. He started as a cleaner, now he's the general manager. So it's not even that many positions up, but he has more than 20 years in that job position. But he's literally went from being a cleaner to a general manager. I don't even think he's a general manager. I think he's just a supervisor, honestly. Um, but we've been living in this same shack ever since I was born, bro. This is the only home I've ever known, except the one that's obviously at the Eastern Cape, obviously, right? But my point is, he is operating from a different paradigm. He, I feel that he believes I'm not gonna be anything in life. Like, basically, I'm never gonna be anything that I think I will be. Obviously, he doesn't know exactly how I think and the plans that I have to achieve everything that I desire. But him and also my auntie, I'll make an example about her. I won't even go into her background and whatever. But she also lives in the same little township, but in a much nicer house. It's a brick house. It's much safer and everything. But both of them, I can feel it. I can sense it. That they don't think I will be a millionaire. Let's just put it like that. They don't think I will ever find or I'll ever be in a position where I'm able to make a living without having to work or without, or rather, let me just put it plainly. They don't think that I'll ever get to the level where I'm making consistent profits through my business and I'm able to retire them and build and get whatever I want in this material world. I don't sense an ounce of belief or trust or faith from them. And that's when I can think about that is because they operate from a different belief system. Their belief system is you do this work, you exchange your hours at a job, they give you a certain amount based on the rates that they have at that particular job, right? And that's the only way they know how to make. I don't know what just happened, but we're gonna continue. That's the only way they know how to make money. And the thing is, I can't even say they are limited. Obviously there are limits for everyone, right? I kind of lost what I was trying to say about this point, but yeah, man, they operate from that level, and it's like, bro, yeah, I think I got it. We like so because they believe that a reality works a certain way, so it is that specific way for their reality. So the fact that they believe that, okay, this is how I make money, this is the only way to make money for my person, right? Then that is how they make money for themselves. So it reinforces that belief within themselves. Then it's just impossible. Okay, I won't say it is impossible. It is just harder for them to convince themselves or to believe or to even think that it exists for that another person who, let's say like me, can just learn a skill that can generate money indefinitely without having them to go exchange their time at a job. It is way more difficult for them to conceptualize that. Obviously, for a lot of reasons, they basically didn't have the best education, right? I like my auntie, she never even got to primary school. She never finished primary school. My father, I don't even know if he has matric. I'm not really sure. I don't even know. We don't even talk much. He's not a talking person. Like, he doesn't share. Well, at least with us, he shares with his girlfriend. Well, I assume they be talking a lot. But to me, and we don't really talk about like his life in general. So I feel like I don't really know him. I know him like he's the father of I. We have that relationship, father son, which is like what it is. But yeah, so he his limitations that are perceived by the way that he knows how to make money he projects them to me by his beliefs, because he doesn't believe that I can make money with the business that I'm having with this trading, right? And for the longest time, I have tried to convince them, the parents, that it is possible. But then I never could convince them, because they would want the results, they would want money, because they are operating from that paradigm. They are saying, if it works, where is the money? Where is the results? Of which it does not really work like that. It's a different business on its own. So they can't even conceptualize the fact that it's like further away from the reality they have grown to know. And so basically the point was, we like to contradict ourselves, and I would say it's just natural, because we have spirit, which is infinite and has no bounds. At the same time, we have mind. Mind has ego sitting at the top of it. Ego is the one we call ourselves. It is our name, it is our identity, it is our culture, it is everything we know ourselves to be, and it is the one that controls everything. Ego is where our beliefs are. And because ego is at the top of our mind, because it has to be, that's the way we begin to operate. That's how we have the illusion of separation. That's the only way we can know we are our own person, right? That's the only way we can get the sense of being an individual, is through our ego. So in nature, the ego and spirit are gonna contradict, because spirit is infinite. Anything is possible for the spirit, but for the ego, based on how its perceptions are, its beliefs, it is always going to perform that way. For example, for the longest time, I've believed I was a shy person. I still do. Like now, I reframe it. I won't say I'm shy. I will say that I'm just nonchalant. That's how I'll reframe it now. I'll tell myself I rather not talk, and I rather be more observant than speaking. And I'm happy with that, right? I really am. So that is a perspective that is the identity I have embodied. So you could say I'm limited to it. But then we I would say that we need limits, or rather we need systems or structure, so that we can move forward. We have to get a sense of self in order to live separately, right? Basically, what I'm trying to say is, as much as the spirit, the infinite, everything is just beyond human comprehension, we dumb it down to rules, to religion, to schools, to business, to work 9 to 5, and these things, so that we are able to find peace within ourselves, right? To be able to live in love, in harmony, in whatever. We need that. That's why we need ego. That's why we can never truly have an ego death. You will always fuck, bro. It is so fucking loud for no fucking reason, bro. Like, what the fuck are these bros doing on the fucking background, bro? I sincerely apologize. I really do sincerely apologize for the noise in the background. Honestly, I'ma just end this thing here, bro, because I genuinely do not know if how audible I am on this video, and I've lost my train of thought, honestly. So I don't care if it's the icons, it's the demons trying to disturb me, whatever, because it was hella quiet before I started making this video. Hella quiet, bro. Now it just got And it's not stopping. It is not stopping. It is continuing. The noise is getting louder, bro. What the fuck, bro? It is what it is. I'm gonna see you on the next. Cheers.